Thank you, Anna. Good afternoon, and I'm really pleased to see that at least 30 people of you will stay in the afternoon to hear our reports from our beginning projects. Thank you. Okay, the Nano for Health project will support emerging industries in the domain of the personalized healthcare. And we do that on the crossroads of nanotechnology and biotechnology by the design, and that's really important. We want to design and implement a transnational open learning platform, really interactive, so with a very nice creative sauce over it. At the end, and we hope at least that we can start it during the period of the project, we want to establish a systemic change of how we should do it on the level of policy, clusters and cross-cluster cooperations, both within Flanders but also cross-border in Europe, and even we aim higher international. We want to create a nurturing environment so that our entrepreneurs, also our knowledge centers, and the healthcare as a whole can, and of course the empowered people, because when you're making new personalized healthcare applications, you need also the end users within the chain that they can implement it and know how to implement it. So let's have a look at the starting point of our project and what we will have at the end, hope to have at the end of it. We let our creative people make a small video, if I can just... Could you help me to open the video? I don't see the... okay, here it is, yes. No. Doesn't start. I don't find... I don't find... here he is.
You can try to... okay. Is it working?
Normally it works.
No. Oh, okay. Maybe we can... So the video is... okay, we can...
It's the first one.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one.
Yes. Oei. It seems I have a little bit technical problems. Okay. Let me just run you through our objectives. At first, we want to support SMEs in an effective way. And we're going to do that by learning and by also giving voices to 25 projects. We will strengthening our clusters and the collaboration between it and to create really cross-cluster cooperations. And we want to, of course, develop cross-cluster policy learnings and guidelines. Our clusters, the lead partner is the Flemish government, Flanders Enterprise. We have 2 clusters in it, the SP Valley and Flanders Bio, the nanotech and the biotech. And we have a creative partner who is the facilitator of all the projects and activities we will organize. And of course, we have the support of two of our major knowledge institutes, IMEC and VIB. But more information on our partners you can find on our website. Of course, it's really important that all the learnings you gather during a project, they have to become a really sustainable model afterwards. If you just stop after the project, yeah, you've had a really nice time, but you didn't organize something that lasts for the future. So we establish also a lot of cooperations. We start to build up a new value chain. I put a few logos in the slide to see who is working with us. We have other knowledge institutes about everything which has to do with iTech, the innovation centers. We have a really good cooperation with the Enterprise Europe network and sector groups of nano, biochem, and of course healthcare. We have in Flanders, we have Flanders Care, which is a transversal project and is goes over a lot of policy domains within the government. And then we have our partners, our other partners in the 6 projects who we will work closely together to establish at least a good policy learning cooperation and develop some cross-border instruments which we can use later on when our entrepreneurs will bring the results of the projects to the international market. Just a quick overview of the area of action. I already told you it's about nano and biotech, and each site is also represented by a cluster organization and by a knowledge institute. We mix this with the cooperation also with enterprises, and it's a mix of large companies, small companies, startups, spin-offs of the university. We try to bring them together and learn from each other, that the front runners can give and share their experiences with the ones who will start a new project. Our project is a 3-level project. We have the policy learning, we have the cluster collaboration, and a lot of activities. The policy learning goes from regional, within the borders of Flanders, to cross-border, to the whole of Belgium, and to the other countries which are in Europe, and we prepare also the cross-international cooperation. This includes that we have to develop a lot of strategies, and first of all we have to make, we start in Flanders to make the roadmap for health as a whole, what do we have to do and how do we have to do it. You have to, parallel with the Nano for Health project, the Flemish government is going to invest also in making the roadmaps, and we start in January with 3 dedicated roadmaps within the nanotech environment. We will try to identify all the needed tools and instruments both on the level of new business models, value chain partners, multidisciplinarity for the future, and also, which is really important, you have to define the role of each partner in it. What's his role and who he is going to cooperate with. With all those policy learning and developing the scenarios for the future, we have always to take in mind that you have to be carefully with also the things you are realizing and the influences of it. All the changes we want to attend in the future, in the near future and in the further future, they have influences on both how the cross-cooperation is organized, but also on the organizations themselves. And of course, if you want to start with personalized healthcare and launch a lot of applications on the market, you have to empower people, but you have to also take in mind that the healthcare system as a whole is also influenced, because it has to change also in the future. So policy learning is a very large part of our project. The next one is the cluster exchange. I already stated that change and influences and working on transition and transformation influences everything who is active in the whole new value chain. So the building of an active cluster manager platform is really important. This community can act as a support base where they can discuss about how they should collaborate, how they should organize their proper organizations to really help their members, the SMEs, the larger companies, the startup, to have successes within the domain of the personalized healthcare nanotech applications, so that they can at least create added value for the SMEs. And one of the major key success factors in our project will be communication and bringing people together. And we are not doing new things. We are not going to develop new instruments for this. We are just going to use the existing ones, but trying to get more out of it than it is now. We are organizing a lot of seminars together with conferences which will organize by the partners. We are going to add the nanotech, add the B2B matchmakings organized by the Enterprise Europe network, and we are going to learn a lot of our 25 projects. For the 25 projects, we will launch also the voucher system. We will not launch separate calls. We will just stimulate enterprises which are already in the cluster cooperations to work together with creative people to think in another way, to think out of the box with their existing technologies. So we can go farther than when we should launch a call and have 40 or 50 applications, because a lot of projects will for the moment need extra money to develop a lot of things, but we will thrive in our project to find those projects who are excellent and who will become the front runners of our new industry, and also in the cross between the nano and the biotech. Okay. Just one pictures. Last week we had at the Creativity World Forum, we had a lab we had 3 challenges, and creative people start thinking with our knowledge centers and the SMEs about how they could make other things with their technology, how they have to do the design, how they could make a business model around it. And of course, this is my last slide. When we applied for the project, we thought we were going to be the first project around nanotech and healthcare. But to our surprise, we got 2 other projects, and this is the extra in our cooperations with the 6 other projects, that we could work together and establish all the first cross-link with the 2 other regions in France and Germany, and it would be really exciting for the next year to come to make a really good cooperation cross-border. I thank you.